In this video, we're going to talk about website defacement, what it means to you as the company, what it means to you as a security engineer, and possibly what it means to the hacker who's attacking your company. Now, I have the tagline in there of not just innocent fun, and this kind of harkens back to the early days of the internet when hackers first viewed website defacement as a fun hobby to do. This was way back before people even knew about the idea of good password policies or firewalls, or, it was the early days of the internet and people were still figuring it out. And hackers would go around and they would deface a website and put up a message that said, hacked by so-and-so, Hacker Bob, or whatever his hacker name was. And then be able to share that with his friends as kind of a fun little trophy saying, hey, look, I hacked this machine. So it was kind of somewhat innocent fun, not so innocent for the victim, but at least somewhat innocent from the hacker's point of view. Nowadays, that's definitely not the case, because when your website's been defaced, then that probably means that the hacker has been inside your company and done something else to your organization. It causes you to have a damaged reputation as far as the security posture of your entire company, and it possibly damages your customers because who knows what else has happened to your website beyond that defacement. So let's go ahead and jump into this and see exactly what that means. So here's our network diagram. In this scenario, we're actually following along behind the Brooder video that I just did. So in this situation, we are down here on the Windows 7 machine, and we have just attacked the Windows 2003 machine here through the firewall. We've guessed the passwords, and we now have the administrator account to that 2003 SQL server, which is running the website. So with that, we should be able to jump into that machine and start attacking it however we deem fit. So let's take a look at that. So here we are, we've got Brooder. We just found the administrator account with the password of p@ssw0rd. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up a new command prompt here. And I saw previously when I ran Nmap that Telnet was one of the available services. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in using Telnet to 216.11.11 and log in as that administrator account. Now the Telnet service is kind of sleeping on the backend site right this moment, so it's going to take a second for it to come up. But when it does, Microsoft will rightfully prompt me and say, hey, you're going to send this information over the internet. Are you sure you want to do this? I'll say yes. All right, so it is now logging me in with credentials. Who am I? Well, I'm the administrator, of course. And then what's my password? p@ssw0rd. And it says, welcome to the Telnet server. I'm now on the internal machine. I'm now on that Windows server in 2003 SQL machine. If I run an IP config, I'll see the internal IP of the machine, 192.168.1.100. I could do a net share, see what kind of shares I have on this machine. Ooh, that's interesting. I could do a net view to see what other computers are in this domain. Currently, there's none. I can do a net user to see what users are on this machine. And so basically at this point, I am on this machine. So let's have some fun as far as website defacement is concerned. Let's open up Firefox and let's start off just by browsing to that website. And we can see the company right there. XYZ company, not all that exciting of a website, but we're going to deface it anyways. Actually, before we do that, let's look at some services. Let's look at some of the other things we could do. First one is net start. If I run net start from a command line, this basically shows me all of the started services that are on this machine. And I could see all the services right here. Oh, it didn't like that. Telnet doesn't like scrolling up for some reason. Well, if I can't scroll up, then how do I get a list of all the services that are on that machine? I could save those to a text file, and then I could send that text file to the web server. Ah, there we go. Here's a hacking step I could use. So first thing I need to know is, where are the web server files on a Windows Server machine? Well, normally web server files on a Windows server is on the C drive under inetpub. So if I go cd / inetpub / www root dir, I should start seeing the web server files. All right, so from here I should be able to do that net start, but I want to redirect this to a file. The greater than sign means don't print this out to the screen, print it to a file, and we'll call the file services.txt. All right, so I've got this in a file now, and if everything is working properly here on my web server, I should be able to go to /services.txt. And boom, there we go. There's all the services, all the output from that net start command. Now, when I ran it through the telnet command, I only saw the last couple of lines. I only saw, like from here down. But now, since I sent it out to a text file, I can see a whole lot more. Nice. Let's see. So let's have some other fun. Let's see. SMTP was one of the services that's running right now. Net start, if that shows you all the started commands, there's also a net stop, which should be able to stop a service. So if I do a net stop simple mail transfer protocol, SMTP, in fact, let me copy that, then it should stop the service. So net stop, I have to put this in quotes because there's a space in the name, multiple spaces in fact. And it says the service is stopping. Ooh, that's a slow stopping service. Okay, it says it stopped. I'm going to run my nmap command one more time here just to confirm that port 25 SMTP goes from an open state to probably a closed state. There we go. Goes to a closed state. Closed as opposed to filtered is because the firewall is allowing it through to the server, and then the server is just not listening at that port. So I've proven that I've hacked into this machine and that I'm able to stop services. Maybe I'm a somewhat ethical hacker here, so I want to bring that back up. I proved I could do it, and now I want to bring it back up so I'm not necessarily interrupting the systems. Maybe I'm a pen tester, and this is my way of proving, yes, I was on the server, yes, I made a change, and then I put it back. Okay. Well, that was one step to do. Let's see, let's go back to the root page here. Couple other things we could do. Well, we could rename this web page here. Let's see, if I do a dir, I know from my experience with web servers that this is probably the default.htm page. I can actually be sure. See, I can actually go to a /default.htm, and that is in fact the web page I was looking at. So if I wanted to change this, what I could do is first off rename default.htm, because maybe I don't want to break it. I just want to show that I can make some changes to it. So rename default.htm to default.back, B-A-K for backup. Now, when I come back and I refresh the web page, I should get, page not found. Yeah, so I just broke the website. So, okay, so I'm a hacker. I'm trying to do some innocent fun. I just want my name up there to be able to prove I did it. So let's just do some simple echo hacked by Ed. And I want to send that to default.htm. And now I refresh the page and I see, there we go. The website wasn't in fact hacked by me. Awesome. By the way, don't ever use your real name. That would be silly. Yeah. So website defacement, it's a piece of cake once you're in there. However, this is where the more malicious activities come in. Let's see, I have a text file here in the background right there. Maybe I wanted to send everybody to a different website. So I can actually type this information right here into that text file. It's a few tricks you have to learn as far as from the command prompt, but there is a copy con to default.htm. Con meaning console. So this will copy from the console into this default file. What I do then is I paste and Control Z in order to stop my console and enter. And it says, do you want to overwrite this? And I say yes. So it just copied everything I just pasted in there into that default.htm file. And now I refresh it. Oh, hey, it looks like this website that I'm going to, this legitimate website that's for a company that I work with frequently, is having some issues. They want to send me somewhere else. So maybe I will click on that. And me as the hacker has already put up a malicious website there that includes malware that downloads to the client automatically and hacks their machines. Or maybe I'm a little bit more thinking forward, and instead of doing that, let's delete the default.html and then run default to HTML. And I open up a text editor and I edit the text file, or edit the HTML code in here to include the malicious code that I already have prepped for the end user or for the clients of this website to attack them. So as a hacker, I could pre-create the code. I could pre-create some malicious information and hide it in this web page. Maybe as part of a JavaScript code that will just pop up after a couple of seconds and automatically start running on your client. The fact is, I've proven I can deface the website. There's not really any benefit to me as a hacker to deface it, other than to go, tell my friends while I'm drinking chocolate milk that I defaced a website. However, there may be some valid reasons for me to want to put some malware on this website that you would then download, you as the end user would download onto your client, and then I could attack your system using my standard Kali Metasploit framework tools against your machine, and then start attacking your internal company at the same time. This might be referred to as, say, a watering hole attack. I read a story about something similar. Basically, a hacker went in and they wanted to attack a technology company. The technology company had too much security policies, too many security items around their systems that they just couldn't attack them directly. So what this hacker did was he attacked the bowling alley that was a couple of blocks away, because he knew that several people from that company bowled at that bowling alley. So by attacking the bowling alley's website, he was then able to drop malicious code onto it. It looked perfectly normal. It continued to function. Nobody caught the issue. However, once the code was there, it started being installed on people's laptops and mobile devices as they went to the bowling alley. When they left the bowling alley, they went back to work, and ta-da! The hacker is now inside the company. And so he never attacked the company directly, but he attacked somebody else using what could be referred to as a watering hole attack. He attacked the watering hole, the place that he knew his victims were going to go visit. So there you go. There's an example of defacing websites. It's definitely not innocent. At the very least, it raises some concerns about the security of your company. And it should definitely be of a big concern to you as an engineer. However, it could also be a sign that the hacker is somewhere else in your organization, and that the hacker could be maliciously attacking your customers. How to prevent this from happening? Well, first step would be similar to the prior video of Brooder, making sure everybody has super strong passwords. And remember, just because, as you can see in the password right here, just because it has uppercase, symbols, lowercase, and numbers, doesn't mean that it's secure. It's still a dictionary word. It's still a common password. You should change it. Along with that, you should have some security policies with regards to change controls. So you should be able to very easily see when the last time this HTML page was changed and see if that matches with your change control information to be able to say, last time we updated the website was last month, but I'm seeing that there was a change made last week. Who did it and why? So there we go. I hope this has been helpful for you and informative, and I hope to see you again soon.